Very good morning to all of you. I congratulate CAI for having put in so much of efforts to bring the best minds in the packaging industry across the industry, academia, and from the government sector to brainstorm on the aspects and challenges which are uh, available to the packaging industry, specifically for the Indian packaging industry, and how do we see it from various angles. I'm sure in the detailed sessions there will be a lot of exchange of ideas, strategies, blueprints in terms of how it can be taken forward. I'll be brief in what I would like to mention over here. From the government side, I'm sure that you all appreciate that the philosophy in the packaging industry, in terms of the governance, in terms of the regulations, is the philosophy of reduce, recycle, and uh, reuse, right? So, based on this particular philosophy, all the governments across the world, they have been trying to formulate the policy regulations uh, towards this particular end goal. And we, under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, we would also be trying and be watching on these aspects unfold and try and disseminate information about how our exporters, specifically coming from the Commerce and Industry Ministry, we expect our exporters to have the competitive edge in terms of their exportability, whether they are core products, whether it is textiles and pharma or so on, or in terms of the innovative products in packaging being used, because that is also coming into the regulation aspects. You might be knowing that EU also is coming up with some regulations, such kind of circularity and so on, right? So this is the context under which we have gathered over here to discuss about that. So in that background, I'd like to just mention some of the problem statements, if I can say so, to the packaging industry. So the best minds over here can dwell upon these and see as to how they formulate the strategies or the tactics and the technologies. Some of the regulations might start from a simple statement of saying, let's say, minimizing empty space in the containers, right? So this has been chosen as one of the principles in the regulations by EU. They say that less than 40% should be the empty space in a container. So this is a problem statement. So how do we go about it? Whether we use the standardized dimensions, the carton boxes and so on, or should we go for the on-demand based the boxing, or how do we reduce it? The regulatory aspects are going by the principle that if there is increase in the consumption of the boxes or the packaging, if there is increased empty space, that adds up to the emissions during the shipments and so on, because it needs a lot of logistic aspects, the volume increase, and so on. So to reduce this, now how does our Indian packaging industry take it as this problem statement, minimizing empty space in the containers? This I would leave it to the technical sessions as to how they would want to discuss and see what are the new available technologies, what are the capital goods we need to come out, and see as to how it can cater to this kind of problem statement, right? So the other aspect is problem statement being mandatory recyclability by 2030. Some of the regulations which have been discussed is a certain amount, around 30% or something, of all packaged material to be placed in EU needs to be recyclable. So how do we cope up with this? Do we innovate in terms of the structure of the boards, cardboards, the paper, and so on, or do we mention about the composition details in the labeling as part of this packaging material so that it can be recycled, right? So such kind of strategies, probably you might want to take it up as part of your detailed discussions. The other problem statements like reuse and refill targets. Of course, we've seen slowly. Just to take an example, we have moved from having plastic water bottles in restaurants to the glass water bottles. So we are moving from disposable to reusable, refillable, right? So that's how the industry, the packaging consumption is getting transformed. So how do we take it forward? So what are the ways of taking it forward? What are the materials? What are the composition of the materials? And how do we ensure that these are cleaned up, these are recycled, and so on? So these are some of the statements which are available in front of you. Not to mention about restrictions on the single-use plastic packaging, mandatory recycled content, and so on. I mean, one of the key aspects uh, in terms of packaging, which I foresee, is in terms of the packaging material should be part of the recycling or the circular economy. The material use should be to be able to be reused, should be able to be recycled, and that's how it is helpful for the exporters who will be exporting their particular products. So recycling as an industry in the packaging sector is also quite an important aspect. The capital goods required for that, whether as of now, are we self-sustaining in terms of having the capability to manufacture such capital goods or not? Do we import it? Whether we can do something in terms of achieving self-sufficiency and reduce the imports on such kind of capital goods. These are the various problems which I can think of as of now. Uh, of course, I mean the nature of the materials in terms of bioplastics being used and so on. These are all the different the themes which the discussions can pan out in this 2 day conclave. That's what I would like to say. Of course, I mean Chakravarti ji has uh, pulled in so many best minds from trade and academia to discuss about these aspects in the sessions. I'm sure these discussions would help each and every person in this audience, and they'll be able to take some new thing, new innovative idea where they can excel, and they'll be able to help themselves, and they'll be able to help India, specifically Indian exporters, to maintain the competitive edge in this uh, quite interesting international trade scenario. This is what I like to say. Best wishes to the conclave. Thank you so much.